Hi there, Soquete here, Ginga Basic Movements 2. In this video, we're going to look at two different versions of Hole. We're going to look at lateral recuando, a movement that helps us to give away space so that we can move around. And we're going to look at a basic step variation that's going to help us to dynamically shift our position and shift our momentum and shift our weight. So in the last video, we used the movement lateral as a way to break up our Ginga, to break up our rhythm. Now we're going to use the lateral as a means to explore this big shift or switch in our weight. If we start in Ginga position, everything's bent, everything's facing the front. Now we go lateral. 1, 2. As we get here, we note that most of our weight is on the leg we're leaning over. So what we're going to do is push up with this leg. At the same time, we're going to switch shoulders. Boom, boom. Now that I'm on the other side, my arm is still here to protect my face, and I've got my weight on this leg, and I can shift back. So your shoulders and your elbows are doing a lot here. Each time I'm in lateral, I've got a little bit of a forward lean, a little bit of rotation in my body, and I need to switch that rotation as I switch my feet. So the elbows are also helping to drive this movement. Let's do it a few more times. It takes a bit of practice to get used to leaning your head away as you're moving in a direction. But imagine there's a kick coming. Now I can get under the kick while I shift my position, shift my angle, shift my perspective. Let's do 3 more. 2 more, shoulders and elbows. 1 more. So now let's add 3 Gingas. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go lateral, switch, switch, back to Ginga. 3, 2, 1, and we go lateral, switch, switch, back to Ginga. 2, 1 more time. Lateral, switch, switch. So I don't have to just do it from lateral. I can do a single lateral here and switch. Back to my Ginga. 2, 3, lean and switch. So anytime I'm leaning, I should be able to do it. So that means if I do a balanço, front, back, side, or I can switch here as well. 1, 2, 4 Gingas, 3, 4. Front, back, side, and switch. And you're also going to find in the next movement, the lateral recuando, how we can also use that switch. Front, back, side, switch. As we take a look at the lateral recuando, the first thing to consider is how much space I'm giving away and why I might be giving that space away. When I give a space away, when I step back in my Ginga, it allows me a little bit more room for a floreo, for a hole, to move around the roda, and it also sometimes is a way of inviting your opponent to move forward towards you. So let's take a look at lateral recuando from the side. If I'm in Ginga position, I should have a nice long Ginga. My knees are bent. Once I'm in position, the front foot is going to take an L-shaped circle back to cadeira. The shoulders need to switch in order to help facilitate this movement. So I've got my left elbow in front, my right leg in front. As I step back, I switch my elbows and end up in esquiva lateral with a nice even amount of weight between my feet. So let's look at it from the front. I'm in my Ginga position. I'm here. All I have to do is switch these elbows, make that L shape and back. Now once you get here, you've got options. You could hole, you can au. From here I can finta, maybe move around. From here I can do that switch step, which makes me move the other way. The whole thing with lateral recuando is that it gives away some space and allows you to move. So as a nice basic way to look at lateral recuando, we're going to put it in a small sequence with a finta, esquiva lateral. We're doing it in a straight line. We could also do it in a circular fashion. So I'm going to start on one side of my space in cadeira. I need the open space because that's where I'm going to travel. First Ginga to the opposite side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once I land in the 4th Ginga, I'm going to step back, lateral recuando. Switching the elbows, making sure I'm leaning away. Finta to take the space, lateral back, 4 Gingas. 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lateral recuando, finta, lateral. Always keeping that arm in front. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lateral recuando, finta, around. lateral. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lateral recuando, finta, around. We'll do one a little quicker. 3, 2, here, 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 here. So now we're looking at the first of 2 roles that we're going to do in this video. The first one is going to go from cadeira to cadeira, and the second one is going to go from Ginga position to Ginga position. You can always start one in cadeira and finish in Ginga position. You could start in Ginga position and finish in cadeira, but we're going to keep them separate just as a way to get you started. So from cadeira to cadeira, I'm over here. My feet are wide. Again, I've got this lean. I'm starting to move myself across the room. So I'm going to put my hands down in a line that's behind my feet. I'm looking upside down as one foot slides past and the other foot slides past. And as I come out, I've got my hand up to skiva. We can do 3 gingas. 1, 2, 3. And we step to cadeira. And as I'm switching from a role, I want to make sure I'm covering my face. Hands go down, sliding. And as I come out, back to cadeira. Ginga 3 times. 2, 3. So it's important to understand that my feet are moving on one line and my hands are moving behind in another line. So let's take a quick look at how it might work. Sideways. Where I am, I need to stay tight in a ball. As I go from skiva to cadeira, skiva, hands go down way behind so that my feet can come up and out. And again, protecting my face. 3 gingas and you would go back. So again, protecting your face before you go. Hands go behind your body so that you can slide your feet and come out in cadeira. Let's just do a couple and we'll have a play with it. 3 gingas. 1, 2, 3. Cadeira. Switch your arms. Looking upside down. Always trying to maintain an eye contact with your opponent. 3. Switching hands. Looking upside down. Better when your feet slide. 3, 2, 1, here, role, 3, 2, one more time, cadeira, role, always coming out protected. Now the second version of role is going to come from Ginga position to Ginga position. So in this space we're going to have to do it sideways so you get a good feel and a good vision for it. But let's consider this. If I'm in Ginga position, my right leg is in front. If I role through cadeira, it's going to take me to my left. If I role from Ginga position, it's going to take me to my right. So I don't have to make too many adjustments and I can make a last minute decision. Oh, I want to go that way or I want to go that way. Both versions of role are going to serve you well. So we're going to start sideways in a Ginga position, nice and long. We're going to lower ourselves down into descida básica. And now I've got my hand on the floor next to my foot. My knees are bent, my hand is on the floor. I'm going to reach outwardly and forwardly so that I can do the role and end up in Ginga position on the other side. From here again, I'm switching across. I'm going to slide those hands forward and end up here. Again, making sure that I'm looking at wherever my partner might be. So now let's add 4 gingas. 4, 3, 2, 1. So it's drop and slide and you're up. 4 gingas. 4, 3, 2, 1. Down and role. Ginga. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. So as I was saying, you can do your role from cadeira to Ginga position, from Ginga position to cadeira. So let's look at both of those variations. Again, if I'm angling around, 2 gingas, 1, 2, I drop, but now I come out in cadeira. And then your final version of role would be from cadeira to Ginga position. Let's take 3 gingas. 1, 2, 3. So I go to cadeira, and as I role, looking upside down, taking that leg all the way to the back, and I end up in Ginga. So there we have it. 4 new basic Ginga movements for you to practice at home and really take your time to get a good feel for it. In the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to set a focal point down and we're going to get used to using these movements and joining them together in flow as we sequence and circle around the hara, learning to navigate ourselves within the hara so eventually we can negotiate for space. And if you're enjoying this content, please take a moment to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. More videos coming your way. Thanks for watching.